A Hampden group home is facing a second lawsuit for abuse of a resident. That's according to the Bangor Daily News. The paper reports the family that filed the suit alleges their son was subjected to repeated physical, mental, and emotional abuse while at Lee Residential Care. They say the facility turned a blind eye to the abuse of their son, who is nonverbal and has severe intellectual disabilities. According to the lawsuit, the abuse had been going on for 7 years. In March, another parent filed a lawsuit claiming not enough was done to protect his son. Last year, 2 workers at the facility were sentenced in connection with years of verbal, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse of intellectually disabled clients. 2 others are also charged in connection with the abuse. Their cases have not yet concluded.